Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to episode 22 of this Let's Play Europa Universalis IV. This is the March of the Vikings. In the last episode, we fought the war against, who are these guys? Manus, and beat them. That was thanks to the war started by Vetabagaland, I think, against these guys, which they have now consolidated. And I would very much like to embark on another conflict, but currently we are 28,000 men short, so we can't, and also the Om's Vikings colonised that before we did. Reduce overextension. That sounds quite reasonable to me. And will give me more diplomatic reputation. Yes, do that. Cool. Sind wants access. Sind can rescind that demand. Yes, I want that. Alright. Yeah, Mordred is going quite nicely. I'm happy with that. We are making silly amounts of money. And we are currently investing quite heavily in the manufactories. The other thing I might want to invest in a bit more are my forts. So, we have 2 forts already. Are there any others that we are going to want? And if so, where? I mean, honestly, if they're getting onto the coast, then it's game over. We have to stop them kind of in the internal area. Like Poon, I think, would be a pretty good place for one, because it has loads of provinces surrounding it. In fact, I think that is making it a really good option. You are... Wow, you need 20 development to get your next building slot? Yikes, that's not going to be cheap. You could get one. No, I like the idea of Poon having one. And then maybe Kandesh or Mandu. Probably Kandesh, because I think it's surrounded by more provinces than Kandu. Yeah, it is. Mandu even. And then Patan would basically protect this entire peninsula, rather than Kutch. So probably Patan, Mandu, Poon, West Berar, Bihar. I mean, these are all fortifications I'm going to be able to afford. I mean, 1, I have defensive ideas, which means forts are cheaper, and 2, I'm rich! That's the main reason. Use of mercantilist policies is proving frustrating for some of them. Our use of mercantilist policies is proving frustrating for some of our merchants, causing some to defect to other countries. Fine. Give me more mercantilism. Taraka has been disbanded. I'm sure they'll be back. So, if we were to invest in development right now, could we beef up our merchant guilds that they would support us? No, not really. Not until 76, which is still 4 years away. In which case, I'm just going to demand money from them, because I can. Can we demand anything else from the others? Not without pissing them off. Can't do that for another 5 years. That is unfortunate. Spread of disease, new diseases. Attempt to assuage the pain. Okay, so Poon needs more development. So we're just going to develop until we get it, because we're ahead of time in technology already. Yeah, loads ahead. We just need to get to 20. So we should invest in everything except for production, really. Because it's grain, it's not going to be worth very much. Military especially. Shaiban's no longer a valid military target. That is unfortunate. We just need 3 more. So Poon suddenly got quite wealthy. Native uprising, but we have soldiers over there now, don't we? Yes, we do. Marvellous. Bye-bye. And actually, are we paying our army at the moment? We are. We shouldn't be. At least not to the levels that we have been. Seeing as we are at peace, let's actually pull our troops back a bit. From the front lines, they have a little bit of time to recover. Balder Alfgeir, controversial protectionist. Since Balder Alfgeir started providing advice for the trade development in Mordred, internal trade has been strengthened at the cost of curtailed imports and increased state regulation. While their decisions to improve infrastructure have been appreciated, recent suggestions have caused many influential people to question their philosophy. They argue that the Queen is taking Balder Algeir's advice too readily, and that we should look for mutually beneficial deals with other nations, rather than seeking to dominate every area of trade. I disagree. We need to dominate everything. Our mercantilism's already at 15%. It's pretty good. Keep it going. Especially as we start cutting into other areas. I mean, we're already dominating Goa, so the 4 ships that we have in Goa we could actually send to Ceylon. In fact, we probably should. That's not the ships. That's the ships. So we're going to rename you to Ceylon. And you're going to protect trade in Ceylon instead. And start pushing a little bit more money our way. Marvellous. Okay, so we have some more points that we can push into Poon. This is not cheap. It's not expensive either, but it's not cheap. No, it's because it's jungle and tropical. Ugh. Gwalior accepted peace with Ratas. So Ratas have finally swallowed up Gwalior. So someone was saying that we should go and swallow Ratas in the comments. Yeah, that would be fairly easy if it was just this, but Ratas is also all of this. Like, they are quite a lot stronger than they look. Yes, I reckon I could take them at the moment, but we don't A, have the manpower, and B, do we have the claims on them? No, we don't. Shit. We have a couple of permanent cores, but no claims. Right. Because of the potential coalitions, we were rather panicking about them. Can I threaten you with war? No. Just no. Okay, in that case, we are going to build a spy network on Ratas, so we can get those claims, because we definitely want to swallow that. That probably will be our next war, because we don't have a truce with them. We do with Manos. When's that last? 87, a long time. 14 years. Alright, can we invest in Poon? We can. Need 2 more. Screw it, let's do it. And then a fort, level 4. I would really like one in Surat, which will actually only cost me 2, and we have silk here. Lovely. Just to make our capital that much more difficult to take. Then Kutch, we can upgrade. And Rajkot Doab, we can upgrade. Because Rajkot Doab is a good spot. Like, loads of things around it. Byzantium has announced Mordred as their new rival. So we're rivals with Byzantium and Ming. Byzantium, Ming. Ooh, Ming have grown. Yikes. A new settlement. Our efforts to develop Pontianak go on, but some of the new settlers have rejected our capital city and have begun establishing a new settlement quite far from the original one. Now people flock to the second settlement and we are left to split our efforts. Yeah, just gain the free tax for the rest of the sodding game. Awesome. Okay, and then we have another fort here. We can always demolish them later. It's fine. And I think we're going to put one here. Okay, we're entrenching our lands a little bit more. So what does this protect? This protects all of that. You protect all of that. Riker protects all of that. You protect that. And Kutch protects that. So the only way in right now is through here, which is Surat. So technically the only one that's not protected is that one. As soon as we've taken Patan, that problem will be solved. Cool. And with that, our interior will be somewhat protected. And we have a successful conversion. Does that mean I can now core you? Why not? What is stopping me from coring you? Oh, just numbers. Fair enough. But these two are almost done, at which point overextension will cease to be a real problem. Multiple people are still pissed off with me, including Shura. It's almost to the stage where Shura are no longer a threat. And there go those, which is going to mean even more money. Oh, rebels. I was not really expecting that. I was going to say, I wish there was a thing telling you when there were going to be rebels. There is, I just ignore it. Are we going to have an end of the month before that finishes? Yes, just. Are we going to get there in time? Yes, just. Good. Marvellous. And then where are you? Bijapur and Kornuk, which are these two. You are in fact going to go and stand on Bijapur. We will go to half maintenance while we're waiting for this. Will we? No, we won't, because that is still pretty darn high, and it's at 90%, so it is going to fire. So that is fine. Now, can we get some more plantations? Yes, we can. Marvellous. I'm basically just going to put these anywhere I can. Cool. Excellent. So all of our allies are still pretty chill with us. Nomaland you could do with a little bit of buffing. And that's fine. Then Ratas. Can we please fabricate a claim on Bhutan? We can. Excellent. So who are you allied with? Sind, Karanga and Gandhara. Gandhara, Sind. And who was the other one? Kangara. Yeah, them. So, nothing that I'm particularly concerned about. Cool. How is the settlement here going? Slowly. I'm annoyed that they're going. I think we're going to have to go offensively over here rather than just trying to colonize it all. I mean, obviously we'll be able to colonize some. Oh, there's another one here as well, the Shaibans. So many colonials! Damn it! Request for military access from Gouge. I don't even know who you are. So, no. 11,000. We are getting there. I'm going to maintain you, insurer. And there we go. Quickly, 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 thank you. And there we go. Huzzah! Problem solved. In fact, let's now pull you guys right back. In fact, you can push back to here. We need 20,000 men again. Damn it! I mean, I'm a little bit cautious about building all of these buildings everywhere now because I really want the university and we're getting very close to it. Because university means even cheaper development. Yay! And in fact, once we have a university is what, 25%? I think? 20%. So that's 20 from the university. That is 20 from this, that's 40%. Plus economic, that's another 20? 60%. Plus merchants can be another 10, so that's 70% cheaper development. Sweet. That is going to, I hope, result in an absolutely insane amount of manpower in Victoria 2. Plus this is India anyway. Actually that doesn't matter because all of the developments changed. Conversion successful. Bijapur is done. Excellent. Now one of the interesting things actually is one of the commenters was telling me about the game that they've been playing as Germany. Oh, speaking of which, I totally meant to say this in the last couple of episodes. The mod is available. Like, you can get it. The link is down in the description below. So if you want to play on this map as one of these nations, you are now able to do that. The mod's up on Steam Workshop. All you have to do is go to the mod link, hit subscribe, and it should just appear in your launcher. And I'll be really interested to hear how it goes for you and which nation you choose to play as, and like tell me the story of what's happened in your game. So in that one, guy was playing as Germany, which is very interesting, particularly because you start so divided. You start with a bit of land here, a bit of land here, and of course a big chunk of the British Isles and Brittany. I'd forgotten about Brittany. And he was saying, like, I have not really looked at Europe at all very much, and he was saying that the development in Europe is terrible. And the reason for that is probably because of the continuous raiding by the Vikings during Crusader Kings II. So the development in Europe is extremely low compared to, say, India, which is actually relatively high. I mean, it's going to be even higher now because I've been pumping development into it. But it does change the game quite dramatically having a poor Europe, especially as it means that taking territory is cheaper. So you can take really quite large swathes of land. So I really am very interested, ooh, more tropical wood, awesome, to hear how your games go. Let me know how that goes. Yeah, I want to know. And also, if you come across any bugs or inconsistencies or balance issues or anything like that, then do let me know. I mean, I do have reasoning for quite a lot of it. For instance, the German player was talking about too much emphasis on early military, for example, the shock bonuses, but that is because Germany was so expansionist and you are surrounded by enemies. You will need to have a strong army in the beginning. So that is why I did that. And also, there was supposed to be kind of an early surge. So you're very strong at the beginning, and then other nations who are a little more progressive than you are start to overtake, with the likes of Konungard definitely being on the progressive end of that scale, and Finnmark being another one. Not Finnmark, Nordiriki. Immoral prices. Grain prices are notoriously unstable. Anything from the weather, where it is grown, to incidents hurting its distribution can suddenly cause the price to rise significantly. As a result of one such sudden change, there is currently an acute shortage of grain in many of our larger cities. Merchant guilds gain influence and loyalty. What is their influence right now? You know what? That's not a bad one. That would actually increase their development, reduce the development cost. Merchant guilds gains influence and loyalty. So it's basically lose 161 ducats or fight rebels. I'll lose the cash. Money is not a problem. Ming slandering my merchants. Damn it, Ming! It's not very nice of you. No, we can still afford. I mean, we're still 7 years ahead to do a little bit more stuff. And the plantations I'll keep on building. Ah, we can core it now at last. Magnificent! And that should also have, as I was saying... No, it hasn't. It has to be 60%. Damn it. I will, however, take the free manpower, thank you. It'll piss you off for a short time, but you'll get over it. Okay, good stuff. Nobility influence just gone down. How are we doing here? Still taking a while to take over. We're still getting thing with Ratas. They still don't have very many friends. Now, how's the AE doing? Exceptional year. Plus 50% taxes for the next year. Okay, so our tax right now is 32. At 90% tax is 41. That's not actually as big a boost as I thought it would be. But still, I can't really complain. So I won't, because it's awesome. I can, however, reduce our army maintenance once again. No, we're going to save our money because there are a couple of things I want to build at Diplo 15. Most importantly, we want to start pumping out the early frigates and really starting to dominate trade in this area. Particularly before 1600, so we can try and get a grip on the global trade institution, if we can. Wow, Nomaland's only just got printing press. That seems to be rather slow. And the value of this is currently 17 versus Genoa 33. I mean, we're going to have some catching up to do, but this area is very rich in terms of trade and doesn't tend to have many contenders, so we should be able to push it into Goa without too many problems. Like Bengals at 21 technically, Eura 12, 8, 15, 6. Gain corruption or lose a bit of tax efficiency. I'll take the tiny tax efficiency drop because not a huge problem. Oh, granted monopoly is just finished. Which means I can beef up you guys again in order to get the development bonuses. But we don't have that much in terms of points right now, so I'll hold off. The Great Comet. Mysterious phenomena on the night sky have often been interpreted as bad omens or signs of the end times. An exceptionally noticeable such phenomenon, a great comet, has been visible recently, causing more of a stir than usual. Torbrander Gudbrand, however, has taken the opportunity to closely observe the comet's movements. The result has been a scientific work that tells us much about the object's distance from us and dispels many old superstitions about comets. While it appears uncertain if commoners will remember this in the future, this comet has provided more insight than fear. Sweet. Cool. Alright, all that stuff's still growing. We still have a little bit of overextension. We don't really want to go to war until that's completely eradicated. Manos has announced Vita Bagalan as a new rival. Should not affect us very much because you're not going to get any claims on them anymore. Not sharing a border. Sure is big though. Which could be a problem in the future. There's going to be a showdown between me and Shura at some point. That much is fairly assured. Man, I'm full of the puns today. So yeah, that is definitely going to happen at some point. Hopefully we'll be able to angle ourselves into a position where we should be able to defeat them. The other thing which I wanted to check, Manas just got printing press, was how likely you are to become a vassal. You already have more than 100 development, which is unfortunate. So do you. Otherwise, Vita Bagaland, I think, would accept. That's the only penalty. Nomaland? Nomaland's economic base compared to us is too high. But as we continue to grow, it should get better. And how is the aggressive expansion? Shura is now no longer threatening. Good. In fact, if we pull Shura into a war while we're at war with someone else, like with Rotos, especially if we give them a tiny bit of land, that will actually tie them closer to us, and I think that will mean that they don't get pissed off if we take these 3 provinces. More if we can bring Manas into the war as well. Andhra and Puri. You have no one in common, unfortunately. Native Uprising, that is unfortunate, and a trader has died. Yeah, that's 2 of our people. So we need a new trader and we need a new admin. You're the admin. You 2 I cannot get until 1608? Really? That guy did not last very long. Or I can get the diplomat. That is true. That would give you 57 influence. That is fine. And this would give you 61, which is concerning, but it's not the end of the world. And that will then allow me to get the level 3s again. Although I already seem to have... Oh no, I don't. You're the half price. I was thinking him, 12. No, you're the 6. And you are also a 6. Now that would actually be even lower if I got innovative ideas. Interesting idea. I never really rated the advisor costs, but being able to consistently get high level advisors is really strong because it gives you so many monarch points. It's fantastic. And that ties in even better with the development cost reductions, which is the very underpinning of this entire nation. Aha, now we're actually recovering manpower. Create a proper fleet. Be at least 75% of our shipbuild, naval thing. Reclaim Rathquanka. Yes, I fully intend to do that. Oh, and that's manpower recovery speed? Yes, I would like to do that for sure. In fact, with 50,000 men, how many troops does Rotos have? $35. Plus they're allies, but then if I brought Shura in, we definitely have decent trust with them. I mean, we could get this war started right now. Baluchistan, Karumpa and Puri. You're also allied with Puri. No, you're not. Never mind. Wait, Manas is allied with Puri, though. Who's Puri? Where are you? Puri. I'm not seeing you. This is getting annoying. Where are you? That's you. The nation that's been occupied by rebels for basically the entire game. Awesome. Not a threat. But hilariously, if I declared war on you, then that would bring in Kosala and Ratas. Oh, you know what I'm missing? I'm being really silly here. So I can almost certainly raid some coasts. And I totally want to do that. It's been too long. Only 16 ducats. Really? It's a bit rubbish. Actually, can I get here? That's only giving me 5. Yikes, you want a lot of aid. I have the money. Oh, I can finally reach that bit. 10. Oh, the value of raiding's gone down. Jeez. How disappointing. Should have been doing this way more early on. 12 ducats. I wonder what's changed. I wonder if it goes down with technology or something. 100% effective, 26 ducats. Doesn't say. My reach has definitely expanded though. Bragi Mordred is no longer my commander. No! Send you back to Ceylon so we can get another idea, which is Diplo ideas. Having that one would be useful. But I also really want to invest in maintenance. Diplo even. Production is what I was trying to say. No, I'm not going to get the idea. We'll get the ideas once we've got Diplo 15. And then we can start racing towards getting the most valuable trade node. Which will take a little bit of time to establish, but once we are there, it'll be amazing. Okay, the other thing I want to do is start training some more troops. Now, can we get another stack and do we want to? Or can we get some artillery? You know what? I like that idea. No, don't do that. Make this even simpler. We're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go up to 10 for each. Costs a little bit. Will cost a bit to maintain, but it's only money. Mordred has become indulgent. Risk of being so rich, I guess. And on that note, we will have to end this episode. So thank you very much for watching. If you're enjoying the series, then please do hit that like button. If you haven't done so already, then do consider subscribing. And if you have any tips or advice for me, let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.